Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome yourselves to your Essentials.tf coverage of the ETF2L Autumn 2024, also known as Season 48 Premiership season. And do we have a banger for you tonight? We have MANDEM versus NOOBPANZER, two absolute powerhouse teams this season. Joining me tonight on production is the one, the only J Max. And on the other microphone tonight will be Ben Payload. So how you doing, Ben? You looking forward to this game?
This should be an absolute banger. This could be the grand final. Looking at how the league's playing out, these are shining through as the two top teams. One map lost in total between the two of them all season long. And I don't know, I'm just looking at the people joining the server. These are absolutely star-studded rosters. This could be an absolute barn burner of a game. I am so hyped for this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge one. I mean, we have MANDEM coming in last season with their big victory. Finally, it took them a while, but they did manage to take it last season, season 47 against Skeda. And so far this season have been looking super strong, only dropping a singular point to 4th so far. So, and that was on the first week as well.
One,
So
one
maybe
to
that's
the
on some of the
admins
tickets.
too. In the
Yeah, we
midst of
forget about
things.
that though.
Yeah. But yeah, on that note, though, I do want to sort of talk about the one thing. There is a roster change here coming in for Mandem because, as we mentioned, that point that was lost at the hands of the admins because Haunt's been a naughty man and had not been recording demos, so they're gonna have Lardox and Blank on their soldiers. Blank actually, I think, merged for Mandem back in the grand final last season. Knows the players very well and that has great synergy, so probably aren't going to lose too much in that regard. But again, like Haunts has been a great player for them this season, so missing out on that for like the most important league play game likely of the season is potentially a big loss.
Yeah, it could be an absolute massive one. We'll see how they can kind of deal with that crutch because they are going against a strong side. In NOOBPANZER here, they've only dropped a singular map, and that was also to 4th, right? So both these teams dropping points to that 4th team. They've had a struggle throughout the rest of the season, but we're kind of looking at like raid bosses early on here. So these two teams, other than that, haven't lost a map to anyone. So they are going to definitely be the two teams to beat coming up through the rest of this season. Some have said this is a grander finals preview here, so you definitely want to stick tight and stay watching for this one because yeah, it's gonna be a great one. And we're starting on Granary as well here. Actually, one of my favorite maps to watch recently. I think it'll be really good with these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be really good. And yeah, like you say, these teams they're just such a cut above. Like I don't know. I was itching to get to get going with this, and we've got 12 players in the server. I'm sure we're going live soon. But yeah, like looking at the players, like I've already mentioned, there's Blank stepping in, but Pandemic as well, another joiner onto this Mandem team has done great work since coming in. But over the other side, you've got the likes of Voxy. There's Hugie there as well. Like two phenomenally great scouts, and yeah, there's there's I don't know. Yeah, I could list all 12 players and say why they're fantastic and why they should line up to be the game of the season in terms of league play. But I don't know. It's just to be great.
I mean, we have no full commit readies up now. So I think we do have a little bit of time if we want to talk. Maybe you have a standout player in each team that you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, I want to. I think I want to talk on Pandemic for a little bit because Pandemic stepped in for Zoe, who played, I believe, the first week, maybe the second week also. But I don't know, has been since bursting onto the Prem scene a few seasons ago, like one Prem in that TLR season a bit ago, and yeah, has been an absolute menace, both on Pocket and on Flank Scout. But with Boulder as a duo, surely going to be getting to see some of the lights of the Pandemic over in the flank. I think is a really standout. I'll leave you to do a standout over on New Panzer. Who are you looking forward to see?
I think there's a bunch of players on NOOBPANZER that I'm a big fan of. I'm trying to think who diffs here, and I always like to go to the Piggles side because he is just such a mental diff. But this isn't land, so we don't go for the Piggles diff until land comes. So maybe I go for a bit of a different player here. And you know, a player that's really stuck out to me recently is Ryan. He has
Mhm.
been a phenomenal soldier. I think he's only played a couple, 2, 3 Prem seasons now, not at the highest echelons, but has been so impressive. Has been one of the smartest soldiers coming um into Prem as of recent, and I think he's got absolute star power coming to the future. And coming onto a map like Granary, we could see them absolutely take over the game here. So I think for this game, Ryan is definitely my player to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as we mentioned that, there is actually 3 players from that TLR team that won Prem back 12 months ago. Of course, Ryan over on the red side, over on NOOBPANZER, but then there's June and Pandemic, the scout and medic over from Mandem. But I think we're going to be live soon. We're going to be starting on Granary, as we mentioned. Metalworks will be following this one. But really quickly, I'm going to throw you on the spot. What do you see happening here on Granary? Who's going to take it?
Oh, we doing score predictions as well?
Not necessarily score. Who do you think? Yeah, just I'll
Who do I
accept
who
the
do I
result.
think takes it here? I think Mandem, they've been looking good right throughout this season, but I think losing your soldier could be really detrimental here. Obviously, we're saying Blank has been good playing with them in the finals last season, but I think it's going to be just too much. I think NOOBPANZER takes this, and I think we'll be seeing how things turn out as we are going onto this first mid. Ben, why don't you take us away?
See what they're cooking up, see how they decide to take this one. Going to be Fancy and Joe, of course, staring down on this first bit of damage exchange, with both of them getting into the pack safe and sound so far, as everyone just taking their positioning up on the height, just waiting. Nothing too crazy so far, no crazy aggression, no crazy high soldier bombers, just playing the spam game and just seeing if anyone oversteps and see if they can try and lunge in for that early pick.
They're taking this really slow. A lot of spam was going over onto Fancy there, but we managed to pick up a health back and survive all it.
Garage.
Now finally some commit. Yeah, we are taking some trades inside of Garage, and that's a nice snipe by Fancy onto Boxy. That could really open things up. He's overextended just a little bit. Fleetson's life as well here, but it's looking like it's a little bit better here for the side of Mandem as they are cleaning up those last few players. Luckily, Piggles will escape out here onto second. There will be no big chase here. Bolden knows when too far is far enough. And yeah, you maybe even get second for free here, so they'll be quite happy on the Mandem side being able to take second. It doesn't look like there's going to be any re-aggression here from NOOBPANZER, so just going to give it up now. And now, instantly, we're going to be seeing Saxon to last.
Yeah, honestly, great play by those 2 soldiers there over from Mandem. We saw the fight going on over in Garage that was won out to get that first pick, but then Lardox bombs in so high, lands on the lamp, does a great deal of damage, and yes, does die eventually, but it just takes so long, so far away up on the height, just radiant death from above, and does such good pressure and such good spam onto the combo that it means that, yeah, NOOBPANZER, they lose so many players in the retreat. They do get out with their medical live. Pickles is going to have an overcharge ready, but Fancy has bombed all the way in up high. They're going to try and start looking out this spawn door as the aggression is in already. This is crazy stuff coming out of Mandem. They're just completely pulling the trigger on this last push. They're straight in losing 2 players though, but they get the all-important force out onto Pickles June. Very, very far back, retreating out into the yard, and that's not a 4-man sack, that is a 5-man sack onto the medic of Pickles. They get some other picks in there too, but would you consider that mission success?
I absolutely would consider that mission success. I think it's a lot easier to try to push onto second into last here with this full Uber. If you can, get a pick or two with the Uber coming second, it's great, but it looks like even the side of NOOBPANZER, they're actually just going to give it up completely for free. They want to go back onto last, so they don't even have to worry about getting forced on that second point. Now they can kind of take things slow, so yeah, I mean, that was a victory in my book.
Absolutely. Now the big Uber ad coming in. Pickles still only at 50%. He's going to be having to play this a bit more passive as the Uber charge comes in. Fancy, Boulder, Lardox all charging across this point, trying to get what damage they can. Of course, no residual cap time because second point did flip over, but Boulder is going to be getting a lot of cap time in this one. But Foxy comes in with a 2-shot, and maybe they might just hang on for this. What a huge kill that is from Foxy, the scout over there on NOOBPANZER. Now the heavy's on point with massive HP. Pickles still in potentially a bit of danger, but decides just to back down from the pipe and dodge that big bomb in from Lardox. And honestly, that could have really gone either way, but Foxy, for me, that kill onto point just kills the push in an instant.
Yeah, Boulder just wasn't ready for it, right? He was focusing on another spawn door, wasn't seeing it coming, but got so much cap time. They made it really close. They got a nice early pick onto GG there. And I thought, oh, maybe it's all over. No, Demo Man, but yeah, really nice from Foxy to kind of clean things up. And now the Uber advantage is going to be on the side of Mandem. They're taking second for free. And now they're kind of just looking to hold a yard as the Ubers have completely evened up. I didn't realize June had managed to build so far, but I guess she did manage to survive this whole ordeal. It's only about 22 seconds of Uber advantage the last we've been told by the lovely chat. And now we should see some sacks trying to come in from the side of Mandem here. They get all buffed up by Choke. Let's see what they do here, Ben.
Yeah, it seems that Choke is the name of the game as they're getting their soldiers buffed up. Fancy as well taking a bit. Lardox the first one to jump through, but taking a lot of spammers. Normally what happens with the first soldier through the bomb comes in there from Blank, landing straight in onto Pickles, onto Hugie as well. But both of them able to get away with just enough health there. Good attempt there. One soldier goes in low, the second one bombs in high afterwards once the distraction has been set, but Good attempt, but good evasion there from the NOOBPANZER combo. Everyone's safe and sound.
Yeah, just one soldier going down there, you know, means there is really no opportunity for the side of NOOBPANZER to try to move back in. They are basically just holding still. And now we have seen a little spawn door open here for Pandemic. He is going to go up onto the sniper class here. And this man is really nice on sniper here. And they're not going to be expecting this on the side of NOOBPANZER here. This is such an early sniper play, right? We usually see a couple of sacks before you pull out the sniper, but maybe feeling confident they can get something in from choke here.
Yeah, there's potentially some surprise factor, but never mind. The surprise factor has gone with that one. The first shot not quite landing there up onto the high ground in front of Valley. But there are a few options here for peeking. It doesn't have to be from choke. There's the window. You can even perhaps go for something from the left side of yard too. But it's all now about NOOBPANZER. They have to play fairly close. They have to keep these chokes locked down because they cannot allow Pandemic to get a deep swing in. But of course, that's exactly what Pandemic's going to try and do. But actually, the Uber trade comes straight in, lands straight on Pandemic's face, and that is a really good cause of initiative there from NOOBPANZER. Just straight in, gets the one frag. Boulder going to try and clean up in this post, but gets one frag over onto Puck. But now things might be settling out for a bit. Lardux trading up 1-1 with Hugie, 4v4 for now. But NOOBPANZER, they're so far back in carries, they're just going to have to chill and just think, you know what, the trade was just a success. They didn't lose anything to that sniper, but it's a bit risky to go any further here.
Yeah, MANDEM do get a play through garage, but Blank quickly taken out on the flank there by Ryan. That was a good little heads up for them to try to come back in, try to get some aggression while things were a little bit messy, but they were already pretty much set up on the NOOBPANZER side there. No one else could get through because of GG spam on the demo man there. So unfortunately, not going to be a success for MANDEM here. And they are just going to be building, getting healthy on both sides, and we should see basically a repeat. But we are back on cookie cutters here on both sides, so it should just be some sacks coming through on the soldiers. But we're already on about 2 minutes onto that round timer clock here, so we might even be seeing a round reset unless they get really, you know, lucky here and have a miraculous sack in through choke.
The last one wasn't too far away, I've got to say. This bombing from Lardux with then the blank follow-up, it did get close. There was a good bit of damage, mostly onto Huge, but even a kill into a scout there means you can potentially sort of come in for wave 2 of aggression. And Lardux has gone for the same little bomb through onto the low ground, just being a distraction, just holding it clear, as now the rest of the team will follow up behind. But they're taking so much combined spam from Ryan, from Hugie, from pretty much everyone sat on the red team. And yeah, it's so tough if you're lingering around in choke, eating so much spam. It just becomes harder and harder to sack as the health bars dwindle. And yeah, there's now a minute 15 left, and MANDEM now, they're really running short of time if they're going to make something work here.
Yeah, they're not looking to go back for any off-class or anything. They are just going to be staying, again, cookie cutter on this comp. So they are going to be wanting to go for something aggressive. This is kind of when you see the trades coming in, right? You're going to probably see them wanting to take an Uber at some point because you have a minute, maybe you get one sack in, but then it's so risky. Can you get to the point in time? Can you get much cap time here? It looks like they're doing very similar again. They're just setting up Fancy to try to get some sicky snipe, see if you can get some damage onto the medic or the demo man here to set something up. But they've just gone full out aggressive here. They are using the Uber on the MANDEM side, but they haven't even used it on Pickles here. They finally used, but surely June is caught here.
Oh, it's going to be so tight, so close. June getting out just about to the pack. But now it's about this re-aggression. Can they get in? Demo man down for the trade of 2 soldiers, surely looking in the favour of the blue. But never mind, Pickles gets caught by Boulder and Pandemic in combination. But there's 20 seconds left. There's no time to build up this ad and use that to push in. If they're going to go, they have to get their spawners and be straight in. There's 15 seconds, and they need to get more bodies onto that second point.
Yeah, they needed to stay aggressive here. This is 10 seconds left. No one is near the point. Puck is ready to deny it. Along with Voxy, now there's stickies on the point as well from GG. There's just absolutely no chance. They're just going to commit all their bodies onto the point. They get a tiny bit of cap time, but surely this isn't going to be enough. GG, 3 HP, and a Dream being an absolute warrior here. They're getting so much cap time. They back out, but there's a player behind as well. Pandemic takes down Hugie, though, and they're going to cap it.
They're going to cap it, and what's worse is Pickles is at 10% Uber on this defense, and there's only 3 players left. A couple of spawners coming in too, but OP is going to have Uber charge to use it onto Blank to save there. June on the point, trying to dance around. Pandemic gets flashed and gets the kill over onto the demo man. A huge pick for this push coming in, but the spawners are only just arriving for the MANDEM side too. It's really touch and go on this one. There's no cap time yet, and with demo man going down, Pandemic and Blank on the other side too, it's not looking too great for this pushing unless they can get something crazy. Lardux maybe going to go in and go for it, but Voxy surfs it all the way up onto the height, and now Hugie and Voxy with the cleanup, 3 frags between the 2 of them, and NOOBPANZER hang on to fight another day.
Yeah, Hugie going absolutely huge there. Got a nice little 4K onto the last. took a little flank route, got onto June there, and then managed to kind of clean up with the rest of the team along with Roxy. So really nice defense there from NOOBPANZER. And look at this, they might even get mid pretty much for free. The rest of the MANDEM squad is rolling up in through choke here, but they've already taken a lot of space. Uber is used out on through the NOOBPANZER side. That can they catch anything? That is going to be Fancy going down, but I think that's all they'll get is the rest of the MANDEM side manage to get out by the skin of their teeth here. It is going to be mid, capped up by the NOOBPANZER side, and actually they want to try to take this into second. They're taking it in through this flank area into yard here. They take down Blank early, huge damage coming through, and the hills are massive from Piggles, keeping everyone alive, and they have to give it up here. They do have Uber advantage on the side of MANDEM, but I don't think they'll be able to use it here.
Yeah, it's so tough there because MANDEM, they have ad, but they don't have Uber, so you still have to play fairly passive. You don't have like the option if you would have had Uber to sort of run in and use it and just take all the aggressive fights. And ultimately hasn't got the memo there, trying to take fights out into yard, but is completely disconnected from the rest of the team. And it's a very long respawner, so maybe NOOBPANZER now with one scout down can start working their way in, because Pickles has, yeah, like you say, equalized this Ubers like completely, and they're already a player up, so this is looking damn good now for NOOBPANZER to try and pressure into the second point.
Yeah, this is a hard nut to crack. However, we saw a Granary game a couple weeks ago where it was near impossible. However, a pick onto Lardox is definitely going to start things the right way. Pandemic taken down scarily low as well, and they do just back out onto last here. Note that one soldier pick just means there is no way they can hold the chokes against two soldiers and a demon spamming.
Yeah, of course, and yeah, great pressure cook there from NOOBPANZER, getting it all the way through, and getting it through relatively safely as well. Pickles got taken a little bit low to some spam, but was safe enough all the way back, as now pressure is in. Can they get something going before this gun's built up, before everyone's set up in position? GG gonna launch through and gets... was that an air shot from up in there on the crossbow? It might well have been on the defensive medic, but maybe that's a call for some counter aggression, a bit more confidence straying into the lobby, knowing there's no sticky traps.
No demo man is actually quite a big deal here. Really, they're going to try to just want to set up some traps, so this is just so difficult to get all the way back in and actually keep that point. You're better off just, you know, hedging your bets, keeping your players alive and going back to last. And Fancy has got to set up some sticky traps. Are a little unseen here, so we might get some cheeky kills here. We might even see a drop if we're lucky.
Yeah, potentially, and GG is toying with the idea of going underneath, maybe saw something that he wasn't too keen on. Trying to walk out under this far right hand side, but now the game gets a little harder now for NOOBPANZER in this position. Oh, it gets even harder now.
I can see the future. I told you it was going to happen. He actually gets a 3k throughout all of that. So yeah, MANDEM are pushing straight into second here. No question about it. There's no one that can really stop it. The soldiers of 9
to be denied
already out there. Yeah, they're huge as well. Denying 3 players means they should be able to take mid for free, right? We might see a small little fight onto mid. No, they're pretty much gone already. Obviously, isn't that plausible? It's something you always have to worry about.
Yeah, they have to worry about that, but that's all the way back on the second. Mid's going to be flipping for free, and Pickles only 20% on this Uber. This is a full advantage. What we just had on last and was like, you know, we'll just keep walking forward and keep taking the ground as it is being given. A second point now getting finished up on the cap, like you say, that this is where the sniper could come good. It's a long sight line in front of this second forward spawn, and the peak is going to be coming in. Are they going to be caught unawares? They're aware of it now. Fancy going to get some stickers in it. Lardo's going to jump up, and June is stalled for a moment, having to just hide behind the silo for a second to get ready. Just be convinced that the re-peak wasn't going to be in, but it's not there. Voxy going all the way back onto Engineer, as now second point will be potentially taken, but actually Pickles has an Uber, so there is a world where NOOBPANZER could sort of hang in here, and it seems like they're going to... The Engineers cancelled, everyone into position over on NOOBPANZER as they get themselves set up for the long haul.
Yeah, that was kind of lucky because there were 2 players all the way back on last there. That looked like, you know, if they had kind of realised that, they might have been able to get in, but they knew those Ubers were coming up and it was going to be a close one either way here. So didn't manage to do the full coast to coast, however, have taken yard and now are going to be pressuring onto second. We saw last time they did a really good job of kind of pressuring it in here. Just get an early pick and see what you can do with it. We'll see if they can kind of do the save at this time, or Fancy's even setting up some stickies to go behind that door there. So if that medic walks behind, essentially, you know, some big spam, they're going to go straight back into those stickies. So yeah, Pickles needs to be careful. On that second drop it in under 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing you can do on Granary. I don't know any other position in the map that's like this, where you can have stickies behind. Voxy, very aware though. Voxy walks back, thinks, you know what, Fancy hasn't fired any stickies in a few seconds. Maybe there's some tomfoolery about and decides, you know, goes back, checks the shutter, and thinks, yeah, Piggle's going to be safe for now. But I don't know any of the map, but you can sort of like loop stickies like almost like out of the map and like over the scenery. It's pretty cool, especially the utility of, you know, catching medics retreating. But Piggle's safe for this one, but it's around the rest of the team is Ryan. Yeah, Ryan's getting out from above as Blank's trying to pressure in, but actually that's enough. Blank just bullying up through top lunchbox, takes so much space. I think, you know what, we can't deal with a soldier getting up high behind. We're just going to retreat back out, but already getting pressured on last.
Yeah, they love sending in that double stack there to try to get something done, but they lose free for it, and this might be them just having to leave here. It does look like it is. They even pulled out a sniper, but didn't need it. But straight back to spawn here is a QG, and they should be taking this point. They take a trade onto this soldier, though. It's actually pretty good. Piggles has the pot pretty much instantly here. Upi has flashed a couple more times. He needs to be a little bit careful in this post. Uber is running close pace, however. So, as the side of NOOBPANZER, they're straight back into last. They get a pick onto puck. Is this an opportunity?
This could well be. There's a soldier down, there's space to be taken, and the heavy is already up, and that is a sign that the NOOBPANZER team, they're not feeling too confident in their chances of defending. They need the extra firepower, the extra HP that a heavy brings to the table. The heavy's doing a decent job so far of just warding off these bombers, warding off this pressure, and yeah, one for one on the side is not quite quick enough because Puck now is spawning in, and these players dropping like flies over on the MANDEM side. They're going to have to potentially get back out, but never mind. Actually, what fancy Blank combining up on top. Joe Piggles, the only last two alive, but they're going to cap it out.
Sure are. They get really nice and fancy. I've never seen a man just hit the perfect spam on a heavy for so much. The heavy was kind of mowing down the rest of the team. Fancy took him down and then played it really methodically along with Blank there to kind of focus up on the same targets. The last couple players came in at just the right time and they cleaned up there before the Ubers could be in play there. So yeah, really nicely played from MANDEM, but a contentious first round, taking us over 16 minutes to get to it. And surely, you know, this is the Granary curse, right? The first round takes ages, and then we'll see like 4 rounds in like 10 minutes now.
Yeah, there's been some crazy finales to Granary games this season and across many of the teams is now getting themselves set up for mid-fight number 2. See, last time it was a bit of a slow affair, a bit of a tentative one, everyone just sort of staring each other down, but this time Blank and in very, very high up above onto the lamp, going to try and get some damage over to GG now, as the pressure coming in now on the counter push from NOOBPANZER, getting a couple of frags, but losing some of their own. Ryan shoving over this world all the way back behind, and actually NOOBPANZER going to decide to hightail it out, as they just got caught in front of their own choke.
Yeah, those scouts on the MANDEM side just absolutely took over that top area here. Oh, there's even a little pet going on GG there, keeping him in that spawn queue for just a little bit longer. And no demo man means you can basically play this point pretty quickly here, and they want to try to push it forward, coming in onto this last point of MANDEM. They do see it heavy though, and yeah, I think that's enough for them to try to retreat. They know it's even Ubers, they know the pressure may not work. They're going to be careful with the sniper as well. Boulder is playing so aggressive, even though there is a sniper up on this field. He's just trying to create some space, let soldiers come in, and it is a sack. Can they get onto Piggles? Piggles taking down to 20 HP. There's a final soldier bomb, but the heavy cleans it up. They're just trying to get any spam, but he's going to run into spawn, and surely he's going to live here. And with no other picks other than Ryan, that is going to have to be the MANDEM side running it.
That's a crazy hold from Piggles. 20 HP, the bomber just come in. There was pistol spam coming across. There was a couple of stray rockets to dodge as well, but all the way back, not ducking into the spawn, just waiting all the way back in the corner, is able to dodge away from all of that damage. What a great hold that is, and they're rewarded. They're going to try and get onto the second point, and Huge getting that kill into Pandemic might be enough to maybe think about getting the rest of this cap time. So they've got so much cap time, and maybe they're okay to go through for this, but yeah, they do get the cap, but for how much longer?
Yeah, they get another pick onto Lardox here, though. This sniper is also, was being a little bit of a menace, but looks like they might try to switch off here. And there's also a Blank behind. This is so messy here. They're here, there, and everywhere. They're taking a fight in yard. And, you know, they've got both medics out looking for a trade. Surely, but they want to make sure they get the better side here. And it is Upi using first hit. Piggles uses second, but it's messy in behind. Puck gets taken down early. That's the second time this game. He's kind of been the first casualty. But however, they do lose Fancy. That's a huge pick, and everyone else is relatively healthy here on the NOOBPANZER side. However, the soldiers coming in, absolutely collapsing. They can't take down this soldier. O'Brien, though, a clutch arrow by Piggles. However, are they going to be able to hold on to second? The health no longer so good here, and it's going to be a chase into that flank to try to find that soldier, try to get that high ground up here, and they have pretty pretty much taking it for free here. There is a little bit of spam coming in from Gigi, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do it alone. He doesn't have to do it alone when both Lardox and Blank are taken down. They have to instantly back up. It's such a back and forth, a tug-of-war kind of game.
This is not the place you usually see flip-flop happening, right? You don't normally see it on the second point. You see flip-flopping across mid on most of the maps, but Granary is it's a weird one with the fact that like second point is basically in lobby. That it's a bit more safe to do this sort of flip-flopping around the second point on the defensive side, and actually the reward for it, finding that kill into bold it, is going to mean that they're able to walk in even further forward as the Uber chargers even out. NOOBPANZER able to take control of their own yard and get themselves stabilised, I guess, but they're still a round down. It's still borderline impossible to start just like walking into mid here and trying to go for anything. It's always going to be MANDEM who are the ones with the initiative, with the ones with the space, wanting to try and make something work. But last time we were in this position, it took the entire 5 minutes to get out of it, because MANDEM, they started getting cap time at the end with what, a couple of seconds left. They went into like it's overtime on the second point, so we might be in for a slow one here. And MANDEM, 10 minutes on the clock, a round up. Like, I'm not sure they're too fussed with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, the initiative, right, is going to be on the team pushing into yard here, which is MANDEM, but they're a round up. They probably don't mind ticking 4 minutes down on this clock. They've been so dominant on, you know, that last mid. They might be quite confident that, you know, we should do a round reset. They might send, you know, a single sack in here and there, as they look like they might be doing by sending some pressure in from Choke here. Lardo probably going to go down here. They'll just jump back into Choke. They lose Blank as well, though, so that is 2 soldiers down. Now, this is definitely on the side of NOOBPANZER, just trying to push out onto this middle point here. They are met by spam of fancying. They do decide to take a trade. It's looking a little bit better for the side of NOOBPANZER, and of course we have a pause.
This is a crazy position to be paused in. Like a mid-Uber trade, Piggles has just been piped to the face before using that Uber charge. He's 20 HP. There's, yeah, 3 red players all staring at Fancy. The Uber slightly better over on Piggles, but having to flash 2 players rather than 1, still probably going to fade slightly later. I'm slightly concerned about the longevity of some of these MANDEM plays after this fight. Maybe they're going to have to start running away soon, but I don't know, these positions, I know the pauses always seem to happen at the most crucial moments in the middle of fights. Obviously, they were like a minute and 30 in the future, but from like watching the STV sake, these positions happen all the time.
Yeah, I mean, but that just gives us the time to kind of analyze what's going on here, how we think this fight might play out. You know, we can fill some time here, and you know, as you were saying, Piggles did take that fight before using this. So it's going to be on bad HP when these Ubers end, probably around 50 HP if he's, you know, healing a damaged target. They probably need to just back out here, right? They have a Soldier of Ryan up on that high ground. It's going to make it really difficult post-Uber for anyone to get in for free into this area. So they can kind of back out into yard and then maybe try to take things back here, as they are still 2 soldiers down on the side of MANDEM. They will be coming up pretty much any second now. I think they're literally on the spawn, right? But if they're quick enough and they take the initiative, they might be able to take some more high ground area and recontest. But yeah, I think this is looking a little bit better from the MANDEM side, just from the way things are looking, unless Voxy can just kind of 2-shot some things with 10% Uber. That sometimes just happens.
We've seen it happen early this game. Some of the Voxy 2 shots have been pretty big. I don't know, I want to have a look at the other side of the mid, because currently there's of course there's 2 players advantage at the moment for NOOBPANZER, and that's essentially in the state of the game we're at the minute. That's essentially Puck and Hugie, because they're at the complete opposite side of the mid. And I'm sort of interested to see how they get involved. They're all the way over there towards Red Choke. They're obviously seeing this trade happen. And I think as soon as that trade finishes, it's going to be telling what their actions are. Do they try and collapse in? If it's going bad, are they going to try and run back out? Maybe they're just not. Their presence isn't felt at all. But these are the 2 players they've got extra, and these are the ones that are going to try and come in as the pause ends. The charges fade, and all the momentum going the way of NOOBPANZER. Massive damage onto Fancy, onto Pandemic. Will be able to get out alive. But everyone on NOOBPANZER surviving. The Uber charges didn't last long enough at all over for MANDEM, as they're forced so far back. Going to get their forward spawns denied, and going to have to retreat all the way back to second, and maybe even to last, to be quite honest. No demo on second is a brutal hold, and I don't think it's one that MANDEM are even engaging with the idea of.
No, they don't even look at it, right? They're like, you know what, we don't need second, we'll go it to last round up. But now this is a scary situation. We've seen good things so far with pressure from these teams and being able to get onto these medics, and I don't think things will change too much here, as there's still a gun being built. They've got a lot of space kind of up on this high ground and towards this left hand side, and I think we might start seeing some bombs coming in. We've seen previously, some demo man bombs coming from Fancy. We'll see if GG also fancies a little bit of that for himself.
Yeah, there's the fancy ones we've seen this game, but then there was also the one from a few days ago with the parachuters. GG is going to be the one bombing in high, go to Hugie and kill onto the gun, but that is about all they're going to find here, all this triple sack. And maybe this is it, maybe this is the meta, what they're playing like nowadays, with these really, really high investment sacks. And honestly, even despite the investment, it's not really been paying off. Even we've seen both these teams, MANDEM go for a 5-player sack earlier, and they got a 4, and that was it really. No frags to speak of, and yeah, then there was the previous 3-man sacks for either of these teams, but it's a bit of a wasted opportunity, right? 7.5 minutes left, there is still time, but NOOBPANZER, they've conceded second. They're going to have to do this long on the hard way, take yard 2. Yeah, I'll say it, the 5th of the 7 points. And if the bomb comes in, never mind, they might be... I thought that OP was a dead lady there behind that crate as the bomb came in for Ryan. That was a... I think there's the no momentum on the serve just completely threw Ryan off there.
Yeah, you expect, you know, her to kind of surf it out, but no, does the tiniest little, like, single jump just into the air, does a little ballerina 12 and manages to survive, throws Ryan off of there. So, unsuccessful sack, but a little bit of timing. They maybe weren't expecting that on MANDEM. They need to be a little more heads up, as the second round of sacks, you know, should be coming up any time here. They just need to kind of make a little bit of pressure here on the NOOBPANZER side. They are taking things into choke here, as we've seen the side of MANDEM do previously. Need to clear these stickies, because otherwise you're just going to die as soon as you jump through there. But they are doing that. Soldier is coming on through, and there's also going to be some demo man spam, but they're so ready.
Ryan with the drop straight in, speed shot in through the window. Beautiful bomb there over onto OP, and we said before the hold was good, the serve maybe wasn't there, but that time there was no time for anything like a serve. It was 2 massive directs straight into the face of the medic, and that might just be the play that gets NOOBPANZER back in this game. Monstrous uber advantage, all the space in the world, yard already been taken, 2nd point not long for this world as well. Fancy just trapping it open. That's the only presence. It's just a few sticky bombs above the point, and Voxy all too aware of that, as now NOOBPANZER, there's 5 minutes 50 seconds on the clock. They have so much time to work with, but they're not going to wait around. They want to fly in right here and now.
Yeah, this is a phenomenal opportunity for them, coming in with such a huge uber advantage. Everyone is in swarm here, but maybe this is the time to try to play the point. You think clearly Sticky's unable to. The players can come out of the swarm here. However, Lardon's going down early. They are trading. Ubi even died, so that Uber that was maybe going to come out is completely denied by Puck here. This heal advantage now going to be towards the side of NOOBPANZER is going to make things so much more difficult. A little bit of cap time coming up, but is it enough? A nice rocket to take down QG here, but Voxtech still alive here along with GG. Might just be too much, and they finally lose these last 2 players. The point needing 3, but the scorers have come back in. It is going to be Fancy and Lardogs, the last to defend here. The heals are also coming back up here, but it's so difficult. They take down Foxy. That's a key pick, and I think they should hold things just for now as a side of NOOBPANZER.
Pickles is 10% away from Uber.
Oh,
the wave 2 is coming instantly. Pickles just lives the entire time, and yes, they lose Voxy, but the game is not over. The round is not done. Wave 2 is ready. There's no time for defenses or fortifications here from MANDEM as the second attack from the tank rolls forward, and this one is even stronger than the last one. 3 frags already. Gun taken down. There is an arrow kill from OP, but that is all that she's going to muster before going down herself. 5v4, the health is so rough on MANDEM. The stakes are destined on the point. Cap time can come through, and NOOBPANZER, they're going to take it and equalise.
What a great repush, and so good from Piggles to survive there. They just weren't ready for that Uber to come back in. It just collapsed on them. OP does die there as well, which I think is one of the major reasons they were kind of looking good in those last fights, just keeping that Uber advantage themselves. And they were like, you know what, we need to focus this down, because if this push fails once more, we need to make sure we're able to take another one in. But they didn't need to this time. The heal advantage and the Uber advantage was more than enough to let them get around. And now, what's that, 4 minutes remaining on the clock here. We are evened up, and it's damn close so far.
Very much so, as we go to another mid-fight. These mid-fights have gone pretty damn well for MANDEM so far this game. So see if they're getting anything similar of the sort this time round. Again, it's another tentative one. No one's really pushing the envelope too much across this mid. Look, Puck and Ryan seem to be the first ones to go in, landing on just height, not going to commit too deep, not going to try and land anything instantly, as Puck does jump off and actually gets taken down by the scout of Pandemic. But Fancy, the demo man, down on the other side, so maybe MANDEM are the ones coming off worse for wearing this, but they're going to try and commit in now and try and equalise it out. But the Uber charge is just there in time. Pickles has built hard enough, and Uppy hasn't. Uppy was still only at about 85% there, and he's taken down in the post-fight. That Uber charge must have been a complete shock for the MANDEM players. When Pickles pops, there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, I think they definitely knew it was close, right? Because they get the call that, you know, you're like 85, 90% Uber there on Uppy. However, yeah, I just don't think they were ready to kind of get cleaned up. They wanted to go in for that medic because they knew it was, necessary, and they sent that double bomb in, but absolutely cleaned up by that clutch Uber, and now this is looking so good for the side of NOOBPANZER here. They are going to be carrying about a 30% advantage here already, getting set up, getting healthy here, and this could be absolutely huge if they manage to take this last round, because it's going to be so difficult to take it in, 2 minutes or less if you are MANDEM. Now on this left-hand side, Ben, they are ready to push.
They are the Uber charge used in already over onto GG, getting the gun down straight away, and like you say, he is down to 70% on the Uber charge. That might be a factor later on in this fight, but for now it's all about the point, all about the pressure across it, and all about the frags, which they don't seem to be getting so far. And NOOBPANZER dropping both their soldiers instantly. They've done a decent amount of damage, but it's spread all across the MANDEM team, and Uppy able to heal everyone up. Boulder, Fancy already on the aggression to second point, and MANDEM, what a hold. They don't even have to use that Uber charge, as they're able to sweep forward, take second, and perhaps even think about going further forward here. There's still advantage of about 40% here for mid, so MANDEM, if they really want to, they can start going forward.
This is a little bit scary though, right? It's evening up pretty quickly. They do see them all the way back in Garrett here, and they are just sending some spam, trying to make a little bit of space here, but this is always so difficult. Actually, they are sending it. They're going on through here, sending soldier bombs high. It is going to be a force. It's blocked in by Blank and Blood. However, both dying might be really bad here. They're just going to get to take so much more space. They're sending a little rat in behind of QG to make things a little more difficult. He does take their attention. Puck tries to go in for something, but only able to do about 50 damage to Uki there. And now, I think they want to go for it on the side of MANDEM.
There's a minute left. There is just about time. I think the game yesterday night, it was about 1:05 by the time midpoint started getting capped, but that wasn't even with Uber ad. This time it's Uber ad for MANDEM, but Pickles already at 60%. It's going to have to be big, and it's going to have to be quick for MANDEM if they're going to get this round done in the next 50 seconds. As midpoint getting capped up, Pickles still 25% away from Uber. Yard's going to have to be conceded now for NOOBPANZER, but they can surely hold some kind of setup on second, or even maybe just go back to last if they really want to, play passive and not risk anything too much. 37 seconds for MANDEM to get in. Second point getting capped up, and we might be in for a brawl here with the last point.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe they haven't made a little more time, right? I kind of expect them to fight second a little more, try to, slow them down, and it's about 20 seconds remaining. It's going to be a trade here, right? But I don't know, it's just so difficult to try to get the cap time. All they need to do is get a little bit to get into overtime, though. And Boulder's been loving going on to the point with only 10 seconds remaining, though. 2 players going down on MANDEM just for 1. No cap time coming out. They really need to get in, but this is where it gets messy, and this Putis is just doing ever so much, and it does go to a stalemate here. Couldn't get players on that point in time, and we are going to a golden cap.
Yeah, that's the disappointing thing about when it's the actual end of the game, not when it's just a 5-minute round timer. Because honestly, I think that push hasn't really gone that bad for MANDEM. If there was infinite time to play with, the heavy had to commit super hard onto the point to block it and just go down. The health was looking okay. They had a bit of cap time, but they're pushing in from 20 seconds. The Uber lasts 8 seconds. There's so little time when those Ubers are faded to actually get anything done. There's a 450 health heavy getting tanked with arrows. There's soldiers on the height to clear out too. There's players getting caught in lobby behind. It was, I don't know, it's such a tough task pushing in like that with even Ubers just on demand late into a game. And yeah, honestly not a surprise that MANDEM weren't able to manage that. But honestly, credit to NOOBPANZER for their fight back. I thought with 5 minutes left, I thought, damn, they were in a bit of trouble. But they've had all the chances in the second half of this game, and they're maybe kicking themselves they haven't done more with it.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a few good opportunities, right, coming into onto the last, and a couple of good Uber advantages, but I think the MANDEM side has just been super solid at playing around their respawns. I think they've been playing the spam game super well, and I think they kind of got a little bit lucky in some respects that the Piggles did survive and come up with that Uber advantage, and they looked a little more unready than you may expect the MANDEM side for that push to come in. Maybe just kind of got lost in that massive team fight. I mean, that must have been nearly a minute long for Piggles to get a full Uber charge back, right?
Yeah, It felt like it was like an instant use, like as soon, like maybe it's like hard building it even more than usual because like it still it drags in a bit, and that's what you get with these longer mids is like when you're spamming a bit more and you're not sending in the players aggressive and trying to take space that you like honestly like, we see more often than not here on Granary. Like things like that can happen, and yeah, it must be a rude awakening if you're on the Mandem side, just walking straight into that Uber. And yeah, great work from Piggles building effectively the whole mid. You know, it's a spam game, doesn't not under too much pressure, so can spend the whole time thinking about getting those bows in and making sure the beam is always on. And yeah, just a good mid because they didn't answer to the mids to be honest. Because Mandem they won the first two convincingly, so to get that like that wrench in the works with the Uber, I think was a good heads up play from them.
Yeah, I think they wanted to try that spam mid once again, but they lost Fancy kind of early in that last one, which is what New Panzer tried to do on the first mid, but kind of failed because Fancy played around the pack super well, and then Upi was just feeding him with arrows throughout all of that. And then yeah, I think that just kind of collapses things, right? You're trying to play the spam, you're trying to play it slow, but you have no demo man, so you kind of have to commit. I think if they were allowed to play it slow and get Upi that last 10%, I mean, what's that? 10%, like 4 or 5 seconds. It's really nothing. They might have been able to survive that mid. So we'll see if they change something up here. If they want to go more aggressive on the Mandem side, or if they want to keep it slow. Because yeah, I mean it looks pretty 50-50 on those slower mids so far.
Yeah, absolutely. But in Golden Cap, the mids can be even more telling. There's games like this, you know, where it's a real tense, slow back and forth. These are the ones where I don't know, it just always feels like these ones are over in like a minute 30 off the mid. Like I don't know, sometimes people cook up and maybe overcook too much on the final mid fight and end up losing a lot of players. But yeah, it's all down to this, right? Like the final round of the game, probably notwithstanding any round resets. So they'll obviously learn from this. I'm sure that Mandem will be aware of the fact that maybe they weren't building effectively enough on that previous one, and perhaps might go for something more aggressive. But over New Panzer, maybe just to keep where it was at. The focus into Fancy, like you say, was super good. And honestly, they just lacked in the conversions to go into last because their last push didn't quite achieve all the objectives that they were hoping for. So here we go. Golden
Yeah.
Cap starting in just a few moments. I asked you before, you said New Panzer were your favourites to win. Having seen 30 minutes of gameplay, do you still stick with that opinion?
Hey, I'm sticking to my guns here, right? I think they've got the momentum. I think they're feeling good, and they've just been playing it so well this second half. They got a little unlucky with a drop onto Piggles that I did also pre-predict, but I think this time they've got it here, and I think they'll be feeling so good if they can kind of defeat these champion team of MANDEM here. But we are going into our Golden Cap here. We do have Noob Panzer versus MANDEM here.
Oh,
What exciting one it's been, and I'm sure this Golden Cap is going to be just as good. Take us away, Ben.
It's crits. It's crits from Piggles. All eyes on the crit streak over from Noob Panzer as they're trying to roll this one out. They want to get this second point on the board to get 2-1 both on the map and on the ETF2L score page, but it's all on what this can achieve, and I'm sure the recipient of this is going to have a big weight on their shoulders, likely going to be GG on their demo man. The crits reaches 90%. It's going to all be on these first couple of stickies.
Yeah, it's a slow one. Again, it doesn't look like they're really playing around. That crit comes out. Can they find Upi? They can find Fancy, and that's all they can find. Upi is going to live for now, only on 85% Uber. No one with her. They lose all players for this.
They get everyone
the only
else.
One that lives. Yeah, they should just be able to roll this one onto second, and if they're fast enough, they might even be able to get a sack straight onto last here, where there's still 5 seconds for these spawners. Puck needs to be quick if he wants to do something, though. No, they decide not to go for it. They're going to take the space as the victory and probably just send those sacks straight into last.
The crit roller was brutal. I think it was Pandemic getting caught there on the way back out to a crit like a crit stock pipe roller as well, just like sat there on the escape. But it's like you kind of can't stay where you are because you're gonna get mulched by the rest of the team. So decided to chance it and was caught out by that. But now you're in the awkward situation over at New Panzer. You got the crits, and yes, it was a success to some degree, but they didn't get the all-important kill over onto up here. They're still not going to manage it this time either as the push comes through. Massive aggression now coming out from Mandem onto Piggles, onto the rest of the combo too. Voxy is able to live and get the kill over onto Fancy. That is massive work from the Pocket Scout in saving the rest of the team. Fancy falling, but so many players on the new Panzer team falling too. Second getting recapped. There are some forward spawns coming in potentially onto GG. No, GG back spawns. Maybe going to open up some room into mid, and Piggles used the opportunity to decide, you know what? enough funniness on the crit screen. We're coming up with Stockholm. We're just going to take the bit of disad and we're going to try and get ourselves sorted.
No disad anymore. Upi goes down to a forward snipe from Hugie there, so that's really, really big. Taking what was a kind of a little bit bad situation with that small Uber advantage into an absolutely massive advantage. Probably going to be 60-70% here for the side of NOOBPANZER as they are taking it into second. They have to just trap this point, and oh, this could be a little bit of an upset for some people in chat here. I think there might be some lost points.
Absolutely, there's a big chance here for NOOBPANZER. Maybe they have to wait for their spawner in Huge, which is going to give Uppy a bit more time to build up. There's not really too much time for things in the way of guns or setups or anything like that, because the Ubercharge is coming in, and it's coming in here, and now GG using in from this right-hand side, going to bob up high, try and go onto the left-hand spawn, is going to trap that out completely, and look at the space taken across this point by NOOBPANZER, all the ground covered with red players, and the commitment now back in from MANDEM. They're going to try and get on this. There's a bit of a backcap attempt, but it's not there fast enough. NOOBPANZER, they take it in Golden Cap.
Yeah, that red on the floor was not just the NOOBPANZER players, it was the blood of the MANDEM side, as they are going to lose their first map of the season here towards NOOBPANZER. What a little upset that was, and you were absolutely right with, you know, the faster gameplay coming out here. That was so much more back and forth. The risks were being taken with that crit. Piggle did such a good job of getting out Fancy. Just bombed so deep. Got two nice stickies onto him. He went all the way into choke. But Piggles just served all that damage out all the way onto mid. And then Voxy is just able to clean up Fancy there with his little overextension, trying to get the medic there, and then it all just kind of collapses, and they had such a good push onto last, got straight onto Upi, got onto the demo man of Fancy once again, and they just cleaned up super well, and you know, it's probably the cleanest last push that we've seen so far.
Yeah, absolutely. But that all hinged that. Yeah, okay. There was a few players retreating out. There was the crucial shot hit by Hugie on the OP pushing into the mid. That turns the tide completely. If that shot doesn't land, OP is at like 40 ad because Piggles has gone back to change Medigun, and this could be an entirely different world. But Hugie stepping up when the moment mattered and got that all important shot. And yeah, we said before, NOOBPANZER, maybe their conversions on these Uber ad last pushes weren't particularly up to speed early on in the game, but this last one where it really counted, where the point was on the line, they made it work. Oh my, we've got some logs, and is that a scout going 30-6 that I see?
That is a scout going for 36. Voxy had an insane game. I knew he was doing well. I could tell like he was playing around the beam really well. We had saw some moments of glory. I didn't realize he was going 30-6 well.
That's crazy stuff. Obviously, Granary pretty fun map for the scouts, but yeah, that's some crazy stuff. And Piggles as well. I know I picked you in the spot before and I said, who are you looking out for on NOOBPANZER? 3 deaths on Medic on Granary. Very impressive showing there over from Piggles. Obviously, part of that I spent on the crits too as well. So good holding there from NOOBPANZER's Medic. But I don't know, still 30-6. That shines brightly at the top of that kill feed.
Yeah, you really can't say much more than that about it, right? It's just an insane stat. I think, you know, we expect that from Boulder sometimes. He's such a dominant pocket scout for the past few seasons since he's been on this MANDEM team. He just kind of takes the beam and gets kills, but he was struggling a little bit. And I think Voxy has maybe taken a little bit of his aura. And yeah, the old man has still got it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's 2 points over to NOOBPANZER and 1 in the way of MANDEM on the first map of Granary. But there's a second map coming up. That's Metalworks, where we're going to be going 3 more points available, of course. And these points all matter because, as we say, these two teams at the top of the division, who's going to get that #1 seed? And I think there's perhaps a world where one of them conceivably slips into third. It'd have to be a disaster next week, but you want the bragging rights. You want the choice of whether you're Team A or Team B in the upper bracket final, right? You want to win this one and get that league leader's position.
I mean, half of it is just the mental game, right? Of showing that you can beat this MANDEM side. They were the team to beat last season. They've been the team to beat this season. And you know what? They've just been beaten. They are not kind of the Goliaths that, you know, some people think they, you know, are and have been for the last couple of seasons. They do draw blood. Now, how much of that is because they have a different soldier, though?
Potentially, like it's weird because like I know they're obviously getting Blank as a sub, but Blank, like they've played with this lineup before, obviously with with Zoe and instead of Pandemic, but like Blank's no stranger to this team. It's not like they've pulled out some random merc or whatever. Blank literally played the grand final of Prem last season. Like I think, of course, at short notice, it's not ideal. Um, I guess that's what you get for not recording demos, but it's like I think, yeah, maybe it throws a bit of a spanner in the works in terms of that. But I think in terms of all the players in the world they could have got to be a substitute in that they've got good cohesion with, I think, yeah, maybe it has a bit of an impact. But I don't think that can really be pinned down as the issue.
Ah, my bait to try to get you to talk smack did not work.
No, not
I
happening.
was like, surely he's
No,
going to talk
I
smack
respect
about
Blank.
Blank.
Blank's
That'd
done
be
no
funny.
Blank. No, Blank. I thought Blank did okay in that game. I think it was perfectly fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's the issue player. I didn't have, the impact that maybe we sometimes do see from Haunts. But he had a solid performance, right? He did his job. He did what he needed to do. And you are right. He did come in clutch last season in that grand final, and he looked super good in that, actually. And yeah, definitely the most experienced player that they could have gotten here. Didn't even look that bad on the logs, to be honest. So yeah, I know. Not really his fault here, but they just look good on the new Panther side. I think Voxy just had an insane showing, and I think the rest of the team just played really, really well, especially Piggles. Sometimes it is just that pocket combo that can just absolutely change the tide of the game here, and I think that's basically what happened. That game, just Voxy and Piggles just played insane.
Yeah, they enable each other, right? If you've got a medic that's playing super well, it gives the scout confidence. If you've got a scout that's playing super well, it gives the medic confidence. And when that gets rolling, especially with like the like super like sort of hype players like Piggles, I imagine that the vibes are running strong, and yeah, they're just they just start absolutely feasting. And yeah, 3 deaths on a medic and 30 kills in the pocket scout is gonna run a problem for pretty much anyone. As we're trying to get some players in, we've got some players DCing in between as we try and get ourselves loaded into the second map. So we might be doing a bit more tournament before then. But I guess over on Metalworks going to be map number 2. Do you see sort of anything different from these teams, perhaps, with like the different ways that Metalwork plays, or are you still think New Panzer are going to be the stronger team here?
Yeah, this is a difficult one because I don't think I've seen either of these teams play Metalworks like at all this season. I'm trying to think if I even saw Mandem play it last season. So this feels like a bit of a rogue map. It's one of those maps you don't see all too often here. So it's hard to predict based on previous experience on who's going to win this. So I just gotta go on the vibes maybe of how I feel like this map plays. I feel like a lot of it can be on the mids. Um, you sometimes just have your medic always dying, or you lose the mid instantly to the Brugesman bomb.
True.
Don't think anyone will do that this map though. We do not have Brugesman in the server. And don't really know anyone that does it too much.
Anyone else is
Lardox,
banned.
actually,
You're not allowed to do that bomb if you're not called Bruisman. That's the
no.
rules in ETF2L.
I say that, but I think Lardox does it every now and again. I might be completely wrong though. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I think the mids can be super crucial here. And so far on the mids, except for gimmicks, I think Mandem have been looking a little bit better. And I think they're kind of a team that can convert on the set plays, maybe a little bit better. I think that the new Panther side like to play it a little more, fast and loose. We saw some of the best plays coming out just off timing sacks from Ryan. And I don't know if that works as well here because there's really very few sacking opportunities coming into second and last. It's kind of got to be those set plays, I think. So I may be leaning towards Mandem here. I know that's a little bit sacrificial to kind of change up now, but
Nah, I
no,
respect it.
that's
Like
the analyst in me.
horses for courses, teams for maps, I guess. I'm the opposite. I don't know. I can't watch that new Panzer performance from last game and say they're not going to win. I just think when it really mattered, they just turned on another gear, and every big moment, someone stepped up. Be it the Voxy going for huge plays, be it Piggles holding on like 10 HP, be it the sniper play coming through, be it that ridiculous sack straight through window onto Uppy from Ryan. Like everyone had shining moments, and when your team is on form like that, I don't know. I think with the players that they've got, even against a team like Mandem, when your team is playing so well and everyone's just like hitting such good form at once, I can't pick anyone but New Panzer here.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. They've definitely been the team with the X factor so far in this game. Why didn't you give us a score then, Ben? You put me on the spot before a little bit just before the game. So score.
I think it's gonna be close. I'm gonna go 2-1. Obviously, Metalworks can slow down a fair bit. There's plenty of stalemate opportunities, and like you said, it's not particularly easy to sack in onto second or even onto last, really. So I go 2-1, maybe a slow affair, but I see New Panzer taking it.
Yeah, I agree with the slower affair here. But this is not 7CP, so we might see things going a little bit faster. But we are finally going live on our second map of this E2F2L Season 48 Premiership game. We are going to be seeing NOOBPANZER in the red and MANDEM in the blue, fighting it out to see who can take the victory and who can take these 3 points up for grabs.
Yeah, absolutely see what they're going to be cooking up on this mid, and Blank is so fast in there, straight onto GG. That is the start that MANDEM would definitely after. Demoman down is a huge advantage into any mid, particularly a Metalworks one. Ryan going to try and bomb in, try and get something on the return, but is taken out by Lardox now. And with Demo down, loads of players falling, Voxy down too. There's 5v3, there's potential to even press onto second here for MANDEM, and they're doing just that. Blank's in, Lardox is in, the space is taken, and second point is locked down.
Yeah, that was really quick. Yeah, Blank did the bruise from Bob, I guess, in the end. There is a trade trying to come out here. Actually, it's just a use from Pickles here. Upi is all the way out. Didn't have Uber, so good positioning to kind of play back. They wanted to play on that small advantage. They only managed to get Blank out of this and are going to be sitting pretty with an advantage of their own on the side of MANDEM. They're taking it slow, rushing players out here. The soldiers are staying committed. They take fancy. They didn't want to commit and use in there, but they've lost 2 for 1 here. Finally have to use, and I don't think Pickles is in any real danger here. He's on about 70 HP. Actually, no, has not backed out through that door. Now there's 2 scouts. He's dodging, he's diving, he's dancing his way out here, but finally goes down to the Boulder Pandemic duo here, and they are just cleaning house here. We've still got a little bit of a 1v1 as Voxy and Boulder are both alive. It's a little bit of a horror game here. Boulder doesn't even shoot a shot.
Yeah, it's sort of knows so down very low HP. Voxy going to be last man standing there on the second point, but what a weird position that was. The force came out once both the soldiers had gone down from MANDEM, so by the time they got in, it really wasn't looking too great for the re-aggression. And yes, they do go in and they aggress so hard with both their scouts over to Pickles, but Uppy is just left to die in the backlines whilst that's happening. So it's going to be medics traded out either way. Going to be roughly even on the Ubers, and despite all of that chaos, all that back and forth, all those 1v1s happening, we reach equality.
Yeah, we are just going to be chilling out for a second here as both these teams kind of get their Ubers back. But the team that's going to have to be proactive here is MANDEM. It's always the team kind of going in from that midpoint into second who has the best opportunities. It's just the map geometry, right? That just allows them to try to get in, and it is usually through alley here. They are going to be taking it, clearing out those potential sticky spots, and then they should be sending soldiers up super high, super floaty bombs in through alley there. Boulder taking a little pipe. It's going to slow things down. They're trying to send some spam out as well to try to get something going, allow the soldiers a little bit of an easier bomb here. They're just looking through every door. They Pandemic through lower level, taking a little bit of a pistol battle. Soldiers are flying through the air, but they're on the roof.
Lardox in, massive bomb onto Pickles. Force comes out, just got behind into lobby and was not quite tracked perfectly there. The bomb comes back through and gets that all-important force, and now MANDEM, they can re-aggress, they can start pushing the envelope over towards the alley side. They're taking so much ground for free. There are players behind though to be dealt with. Blank on the respawn is getting searched by Hugie and Ryan, the 2 scouts. Boulder and Pandemic both playing so tight around this combo, just this cluster of 4 players just walking forward as a unit, trying to get this one for free. They really don't want to use it, they don't have to. Pickles only at 25% is a long way away from Uber, and with Puck down 2, it's going to be no soldiers for last, actually, with Ryan still fighting out towards mid. So MANDEM now, big Uber ad and a big chance for them to get around on the board.
Yeah, this is definitely the opportunity that you want on the MANDEM side. They need to go a little bit fast because they are running out of Uber here. They definitely actually want to go for the play behind.
Oh, what?
Yuji takes down Fancy. He was peeking that right-hand side as the rest of the team was off and doing something else or another, and they completely lost this advantage here. Pickle's already on 90%, he's surely going to get it. And it's Yuji just gets another shot onto Pandemic. He's absolutely destroying them. Hits another headshot onto Blank. They're finished up by Puck. This is massive by QG. He should just play this class full time.
Still going in as well, still wants to go for even more. Peeking behind onto Uppy. Oh, doesn't hit the golden shot. Uppy forces out in respect for the second one there. Decides to walk in with Boulder. Lardock's going to get flashed out on the landing. So as things settle, honestly, that could have gone a lot worse for MANDEM. They lost 3 players essentially to the sniper. The golden shot, like, PUG had hit everything. And the final cherry on the top of the cake just wasn't quite there on the shot onto OP. The chance was there. It was the wide peek out from Lobby. You know in those positions when you've committed so far and you have one shot, you can't charge up. It has to be peek in straight on the headshot with 150 damage. And it was just a few millimeters to the side and yeah, not going to be there. But despite that, Huge has shown some intent and shown some threat. And I'm sure now the rest of the MANDEM team will have to respect this sniper a lot more.
Yeah, you have to give respect now. You can't just peek in through those doors now. You know that, the threat of QG is out there and he's shown his presence. He's shown his skill and that he can kind of hit those headshots. So you got to be a little careful and they are taking it slow. Coming into this lobby here. Should be MANDEM setting up a sack, but this is a hard last to get into, right? That sentry gun just makes things so difficult. You can get pretty high up in the air, but actually landing on the medic is honestly really, really difficult.
Yeah, especially when the medic in Piglers is sat in like what I would call the troll position, like underneath the bridge. Like just hiding under there, you physically can't be landed on as you're hiding there. But the pick goes the way of NOOBPANZER on the push in. Huge again, getting the fight onto Fancy and going to peek even further into lobby as well. Demoman down, this is licensed to start going forward. But Lardox, in the meantime, has bombed through into last, got so much damage over to Piggles. The spam rocket does not quite connect as Piggles is going to be getting out just about alive. In the meantime, Lardox getting cleaned up by Ryan and NOOBPANZER was sketchy for a moment there. I thought the eyes had been trained too far forward when Lardox got in behind, but Piggles does enough and holds on to the Ubercharge for now.
Yeah, that was really nice for him to manage to get in there by Lardox, getting off the climbing stack. Got really close to get on Piggles. I think if that rocket had direct hit, it may have been a drop. It probably would have forced out Piggles either way, unless he's, really good at doing his calculations. Gets a little bit of his Rain Man out there, but they are going to have an opportunity. If Fancy doesn't die for the third time in a row to QG, he can't keep walking into these potential sniper sight lines. Just jump a soldier through. Like, it's just so much safer.
Huge, just I don't know, there's a magnet on top of the head of Fancy as goes down once more. No one else facing in lobby, no one else is too keen on the idea of peeking into the sniper of Huge, excuse me. I wouldn't be keen either, like seeing the amount of frags that Huge's put up on sniper in just the last few minutes, it's absolutely crazy. And we say that, we have been here a few minutes at this point, there's 1 minute 30 on the clock. MANDEM, they've had I guess they've had one sack with the Lardox bomb in there and the counter aggression, but there hasn't actually been time for any kind of set play because they've always been the ones going a frag down to Huge.
Yeah, he's just been opening things up. However, the opening has just been made by those bombing players at 3-man that does come in, does get to the force. They didn't even need the last two. They actually got it through that first soldier bomb that came in, but that is Piggles forcing things out. Ubi's going to stay alive, and the rest of the team, they're not going to push here, so they don't really need to worry too much. They're just going to get these spawners coming back in, and they should be able to set up a push onto last with full Uber advantage. It's only about 50 seconds left on the clock here, and look at that little cheeky sentry gun spot. If they don't get that sentry gun down early, they're going to really struggle with the rest of this last push. We'll see how they deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely. With Piggles 65%, it has to come in, and it has to come in fast. And we're doing just that here from Jude, Boulder, and Fancy through this. They know the guns underneath. Fancy has to take a bit of a detour there to get onto it, but now they're losing players. Vox has got the crits even up on the engineer. There's a lot of damage to the jumping soldier. No escape for Lardox on the watch of the crit. Engineer is now 3 players left up for MANDEM. They have to retreat all the way back out, and even despite the Ubrad from Piggles, they don't seem keen on pushing this one out, and I guess why not? Upi's going to have by the time they get to mid, so they may as well just sit it out and get a mid fight.
Yeah, I think that's the right decision here, right? It's really dangerous to try to push out. There's so many ways you can get backtapped, so many ways you can get forced on this second point. It's just really not worth it here. And they are just going to round reset this. Finally, a last little headshot coming out from QG, and used by Piggles for the logs here and for that strange farm. But yeah, stalemating already in this game. Is this a sign of things to come?
Yeah, perhaps. Honestly, apart from that last attempt that we saw from MANDEM where they sent 3 players in, they weren't even getting to the position where they could get into their sacks, which is really not a great sign. They may be sorting this out, but the sniper was such a nuisance. It bought literally 3.5 minutes just from persistent sniper picks. But now NOOBPANZER, they're out of jail, they're out of their own last, they've survived, and now they can live to fight another day on mid. And last time their mid didn't last too long because Blank bombed straight in onto the face of GG, but now this time Blank is going to pay for it the other way around. Lardox taken super weak on the way out to only just able to get to the pack and sweeping out and away. But one soldier down, one soldier too weak to do anything really. That means MANDEM, they have to leave.
Yeah, the health was just absolutely tragic on that MANDEM side. As you said, Blank went down early, and then there's not really anyone else can do, right? They just took so much spam coming in. They were kind of ready for that bomb on blank this time. So yeah, they do push the side of MANDEM back onto their second. Instantly, a bomb is coming in here. Doesn't look like it's going to really land on anything. Might even drive through under. No, it's close, but survives. And now it's a trade. Shooting for Lardox. The worst trade in the world here. You kind of want to have, you know, a scout die. If anyone's going to die, they might send it once more. Puck looks like he's in position. He's fully healed up. He's getting a little spot onto this medic. Where is he? He does spot him. Come on. Surely you just go for it. Surely you just send it.
Yeah, they've thought about it for quite a while, but the longer they think about it, the longer Lardox has got to get into position, and I think they've missed the window now. They're just deciding to wait for these spawners, and the reason they're waiting for it is because Hugie is clearly feeling it, right? How many frags have we seen on Hugie on Sniper so far this game? I think we're already up to about 6, at least.
And right, I think it might be 6.
It's Hugie on the Sniper. Again, Metalwork second. I don't think it's the easiest point to snipe into, to be honest. I think there's a couple of options, particularly this point underneath, which is where Hugie's peeking in from now, but it's so tough, especially... Oh, never mind. Not tough for someone like Hugie, as the first frag comes through already.
But that's a super clutch shot. He also hits a body shot here. But just him holding these angles is going to make more space because he wants to walk forward here.
Comes in.
Going to be, yeah. Trying to get some space. Lardox does go in, not really. Oh, it gets Ryan even, sorry. So, unfortunately, should just walk their push for now. But need to be careful with that. Can't really keep these angles super aggressively.
Yeah, absolutely, and we saw that you saw the danger there, right? So they get the sniper peaked up, they get that 130 damage body shot onto the retreating scout into lobby, and that just opens up all of Ali, and we see the space that Ryan and Puck were able to take. It was just about held on by MANDEM, but oh, fancy! I thought it was getting caught out there as well by a combo, and Lardox gets taken down to Hugie. Like, what did Hugie have for breakfast today? This is absolutely crazy. This sniping play is like nothing I've seen before in Sixes. It's such great work, and they're still peeking in. Hugie wants even more.
Yeah, this brings me back to like Flippy era, right? Where you can just kind of run the sniper semi-full time, and it kind of works. And they just need to be a little bit careful because Blake is pressuring in behind here. It doesn't back out with Pandemic. That help pretty bad. They find Ryan during this. He's taken down to 1 HP here, but things have kind of reset again. It's very back and forth with these players. They're trying to find the opportunities, but they're kind of poking back, trying to be a menace on the side of MANDEM whenever they are losing that mob player to Hugie. They're just not really finding... oh my god, how do they get another one?
I want to know the stats. When we get the longest, I want to see how many frags Hugie's got on Sniper at the end of this game. This is beyond the joke at this point. And again, over onto Fancy. The bomb's come back in now for the MANDEM side. Lardox with the air shot onto Piggles. Huge stuff there. Never mind what Hugie himself is doing. The bomb comes through with the drop, and despite MANDEM having to back out, there's 5 combat classes still up from NOOBPANZER. Uppy has the Uber still ready to use, but Hugie is still taking heads and taking games in lobby.
Or just grinds in, though, get the force onto Uppy there. That's super clutch here. As you said, that headshot rings out here. However, good headshot play to get onto Uppy. Yeah,
this is very awkward. What?
How are you getting a kick there? I'm so confused.
There's 2. I don't quite know. Voxy, we know the 30 frags in the previous game. Voxy's just feeling it as well. Also, before this game, I was like, I physically, I can't bring myself. Obviously, Sense said I was looking at previous seasons, so MANDEM should be famous. I just saw that first map, and I'm like, NOOBPANZER are just on it today. They are just absolutely all firing at all cylinders, and now Voxy, that there's no right to getting a kill there at all in that situation. But Voxy managed to go 1 for 1, so you know, what do I know about the game?
Yeah, it just slows things down for MANDEM, right? Makes it a little bit harder for them to try to get any re-aggression. And now it is the side of NOOBPANZER to try to come in here. They need to be a little bit careful. Last time Pickles was in this position, he had dropped here. And that's absolutely not what they want, but they are kind of charging it in. And they don't quite have the Uber, but they're pretty much close enough. And they're so aggressive. They have to use here on the side of NOOBPANZER. Instantly traded back out on the MANDEM side. A nice pick from Boulder here. And he's going to have a better Uber. Can he get onto Pickles here? He has to be a little bit careful. Gets the Timmy 2 shot here. Hugie taken out, and it's so close. It's surely, they all just die here, right? Every single player is on this mid. And now they're betting.
Yeah, they've lost all their players, but importantly, Uppy is taken down by a combo of a trap above and a pipe over on the way through. But honestly, yeah, great use there, and great force out there from the soldier. It was Blank who bombed in and managed to live for quite a while behind, dragged some players back. Really nice work, as now they start pushing their way on into second. Puck is the one who picks up the sniper. For a moment they're in forward spawn, but it's not going to last too long. They're going to have to back all the way up to last and just deal with the situation that they're in, where they've lost mid, they've lost second, and they're at a tiny bit of disad. I guess it's not really something particularly workable, especially like Metalworks, the big wall there. You can always just kite the Uber around and just wait a few more seconds, but I think MANDEM, they're building pretty hard, and maybe they're keen on going for it.
They are building hard here, but they're not really taking that space that you'd maybe expect. Actually, I say that Fancy is looking poised. This is a man who wants to get in and do something. Yeah, he was kind of looking into the air. He's talking. They're waiting for this Uber. They're all fully buffed pretty much here. They might actually just want to
they're in,
but they are going to get faced with a pyro straight away, and that's not good. Hugie is going down early, and surely Piggles are going to get this 95-96% on the Uber.
10 HP!
Get some cap, but no, they do get the Uber out as well here, and they're losing players. This is definitely a lost last push for MANDEM here, and that was close.
Oh, Pickles was 10 HP in the shutter. That at like 98% Uber. That was almost perfect from MANDEM. They're straight through. The pyro stalled things for just a moment, but was taken down. But the push almost came through regardless. Piggles, again, we saw this last map too, just has a knack for just living at such like almost into the single digits and the low double digits on HP. But NOOBPANZER, they've held on, but they haven't got much further out. Frags came through, but the frag onto Uppy did not. So now MANDEM, again, we've seen them in this position before, gonna try and get themselves set up, and they do have a bit of advantage as well. If they want to go for the same thing again, they absolutely can, and they are just gonna do that, pushing straight into this left-hand side.
Yeah, Mud Wall work for advantage this time. They instantly got sentry gun, sent everyone into spawn. They do manage to lose Pandemic during this, so that's pretty bad. Huppy, just about gets out, gets another kill onto Ryan. It's been so good this game about finding those picks just before she dies here. So super clutch there, but not able to get the medical Piggles, and that's the most crucial pick of this, right? It just means that they have a chance to try to push out on the NOOBPANZER side if they want to. They're putting out some feelers, but the side against it there, they're like, this feels risky, right?
With no demo as well.
To play with. Yeah, it's just not worth it on the NOOBPANZER side here. Now 70% already on the MANDEM side. They're not going to have an advantage trying to push in, so I think we're going to see a little bit of a sack wave here.
Yeah, potentially, but we are like into the 5-minute round time. There hasn't been a stalemate yet, and we're already halfway through it. And again, Hugie up on the sniper in Hugie's very favourite sniper angle. We'll see if Fancy decides to walk straight into that one. Nope, not going to be there. Fancy's just chilling this time. As Hugie just having a peek towards lockers as things are slowing down. Perhaps attempt for a pressure in here from OP Boulder. Lardoc's going to bomb in off the wall. High, big sack wave coming through now with Fancy 2 Lardocs as well, trying to get in onto Piggles, but Piggles forces out in the shutter. Boulder and Uppy all the way back on second. Great George Foreman there from the combo of MANDEM.
Yeah, they are going to lose second coming into this, however. But should get their swarms up any second now. Should be able to heal everyone up. Voxy already getting a sentry gun all the way back on last. So, yeah, they're pretty much already set up on the NOOBPANZER side.
Hugie?
Walk brings back. Yeah, he's hiding.
Not seen. Not checked. Not checked at all. Got all the way behind Blank. Looked in there for a moment, but didn't look upwards and didn't see the spot where Hugie is hiding. So potentially there's a chance to try and contest his second point. Look at the cap time on second. If Hugie's able to get in and cap this second point out, the Uber charge comes in, the pressure comes out towards the point. Piggles is nowhere near getting an Uber charge. The push comes in, Hugie onto Blank. Blank holding on for now, but the point may be won and lost over on the last. It's just about doing enough on second, and despite Hugie winning out that fight, he just doesn't win out fast enough. The cap time comes through. MANDEM, they get their round on the board, but that was super close.
What a crazy heads-up play from MANDEM. Did they know he was behind? Did they have any prior knowledge that he might still be behind there? But like just that slight delay from that soldier pretty much, clinches the round there for MANDEM, and just crazy. They kind of saw that. I just thought there was no chance. I was like, this is a genius play here by Hugie, just ratting in behind. But no, they take it 1-0 here, and with 11 minutes to play through this map, still to play for her.
Yeah, last time these mids have been a bit faster than we saw over on Granary on that first map, and it seems like it's going to be that way again. Lardoc's bombing so deep in behind, Ryan doing the same over on the other side, and it's actually Pandemic who's the first one to fall on. Fancy in a lot of trouble as well, getting taken down at super weak, but it's 2 for the price of 1 over on MANDEM's team as they're circling their prey over on NOOBPANZER in this valley. They're all caught out of this mid, and It's about, can they get out alive here? The Uber charge comes in. Piggles has been caught out potentially here. 85% on that Uber over for the red team, but Piggles taken down on the retreat. This is the exact reverse scenario of what we saw previously over on Granary, as now the collapse comes in. They do get onto Fancy, and they do get onto Uppy as well. And wait a minute, like, NOOBPANZER still going to win this regardless, because that is crazy if that's what's happening.
Yeah, the cavalry just kind of came in there and cleaned everyone up. Yeah, Uppy went down super early. Fancy just went down to full damage during that Uber. He jumped in and then it just fell right into his death there. But yeah, it was looking so good. A great chase onto Piggles. There was a bit of deja vu, but from the other side, right, where one medic just kind of gets Uber first and they take it in super aggressively. And however, the rest of the squad just come in, clean up, NOOBPANZER, take that mid. Uber's pretty much even, Boulder's even putting a sentry gun on last. They're feeling so unconfident.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, why would that not be the case? They've lost all their space amid so many late spawners, and they know the Uber charge is going to be sat roughly even. So yeah, they're all the way back, and again, but I'm seeing mirrors of the first map. MANDEM in control for the first half, but NOOBPANZER, off the back of one mid win last time on Granary, they've really picked up steam from this point onwards. So now looking to hopefully do the same as they're having at the second point. They've got obviously the gun, the sniper to deal with. It's a really early setup, like you say, so everything is pristinely in position for MANDEM's defense, but we've seen plenty of MANDEM's attempts at offense. See what NOOBPANZER have got this time as they're starting their pressure. Maybe see what sacks they go for.
I was going to say, this is their first opportunity they've had during this game, and it is going to be just stuck through the multiple players. GG high up in the air, huge shot on QG by Pandemic. Everyone is just cleaned up. Uppy's still on 150 HP. Absolutely no problems with that 3-man sack. Instantly sending some pressure in from Fancy there, managing to take down Foxy, and that just allows the soldiers to try to bomb in here. Nice body block so Piggles can get out pretty much for free here. They are going to be able to take second here on the side of MANDEM, and actually should be able to get some sort of setup on the second point, but this is maybe scarier than being on to last, right? I feel like second is just so much easier to get forced on.
Yeah, I was even the soldiers are flying in like this and poke perfectly on the cue of your timing, lands straight in onto the head of Boulder. Actually was wandering around a little bit up the scout's head, but Uppy again safe once more at 150 HP, does not get forced that easily. And now with that one soldier pressure, that's it, man. And then they're deciding, you know what, we'll take house, we'll start pushing forward a bit, we'll try and have a look in, but NOOBPANZER, they're sensible, they're set up, sat on their high ground across mid, just thinking this is our line, this is where we draw it in the sand, and we are not going to walk any further forward or any further back than this, and we will just shoot anything that crosses this. And yeah, that's it. NOOBPANZER hold on, and they get their soldiers back up, and they can go for another risk-free single attack if they want.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to really push things right now. Still 4 minutes on the clock here. You don't have to go for anything crazy, anything stark. You can just kind of send in these fearless, send in these sacks, see how they're playing, see if you can get some pressure in from the main top. GG. The bombs are coming in here, don't manage to get too much more, but they are just staying so aggressive here. They want to take a trade here on the side of NOOBPANZER. It's not looking terrible. They are one player down, however, they do have to run it out in through this main area here, but this kind of just resets things. Bloodlock's in super deep here. Can he get up to GG? He absolutely can, and then the scouts are coming in to protect him. This is huge from MANDEM.
Absolutely, some great flashes there in the middle, like Uber from Uppy to keep Fancy and Boulder alive throughout all of it. And who's not staying alive is most this NOOBPANZER combo, because everyone is dropping over on the red team. Piggles and Hugie, both super late deaths, and this is going to be a mega advantage now. Uppy's going to be just short of 100% advantage by the time Piggles spawns in. 5 survive on the middle point as well from MANDEM. They're going to walk forward, they're going to take second absolutely for free. There's just a couple of sticky bombs to negotiate, and that is it in the way of defense for NOOBPANZER. They're all the way back on their own last, and it's worse than that. This disad is horrendous.
Huge play from MANDEM there. I really like those aggressive bombs. Talking about aggressive bombs, here comes an aggressive bomb in up from Ryan, gets on Pandemic, flank going down during all this as well, and the train does not stop as they stay aggressive here. It looks like GG might die. I know he jumps out. Now Vox Tech is in the pain cave, but how is he surviving? How is he living this long?
What?
Ryan comes in and gets 2 as well. This is huge from NOOBPANZER. How have they turned this around?
I actually have no idea. The Uber gets literally nothing. Like, genuinely 0 players die in the entire Uber over on NOOBPANZER, and yeah, they're 80% ad, and this script has flipped completely. I was saying, oh, it's fine, they're going to take this second point and that, but the aggression was just there, and it maybe caught MANDEM off guard because they got completely caught out. They half backed up, half didn't, ended up with a quite frankly awful Uber when they weren't able to get anything Voxy. I don't know how Voxy lived that entire time, but now the script has flipped completely. NOOBPANZER with a massive advantage and their first real chance at getting a round in over on Metalworks, as they're the ones peeking in and they're the ones trying to equalise.
Yeah, instantly come in through this main door. Will take Boulder down pretty much instantly. Sentry Gun's only a level 1, so not too much to worry about it going down. They've now got 2 picks so far. Ryan is going to be that first trade. Phantom's hiding all the way at the top here, but it's looking so good for NOOBPANZER. Only 1 survivor, no longer. Oopie died, and they will clinch that round quite simply on the side of NOOBPANZER, bringing it up to a 1-1 here. And this is exactly the same as the first map, right?
1-0 down with 10 minutes left. NOOBPANZER just hits differently, right? Like it's just, it just, I don't know. They just they turn it up to 11, and again we just see like the instantaneous shift there. As soon as the Uber comes out, everyone wipes over MANDEM instantly across the entire map. The round is over within a minute, and now NOOBPANZER back on the score sheet. 1-1, 5 minutes left to play. We are borderline into Golden Cap territory already in terms of next round probably does win, but there's still plenty to fight for here to try and clinch those full 3 points for this game as we get to mid-fight number 3. As the pressure comes in, Fancy already taking a ton of damage on the height too.
Yeah, both teams taking it slow, trying to play the pressure game. It's looking a little bit nicer for MANDEM if I were to see this position in a vacuum here. However, both teams taking down very low, and yeah, it's looking so nice for MANDEM. They do take out the crit here. Didn't even see it. Oopie even gets a little bit of percentage on that Medigun picked up there by Piggle. So really nice play from them. None of us picked that up. Not our producer, not Mr. Ben Payload.
I was completely caught out of whack there. And yeah, the important thing with that is we saw last map when the crits came out, even though like they dealt with the following Uber from the enemy team, when Piggles used the crits, was not able to swap over onto a stock Medigun quick enough because Oopie didn't die to the crits. This time around, Oopie uses the crits and is instantly straight onto that Medigun, as it actually got like a 50% advantage here. This Uber can come in and they can come in super quick, and it's a real invincibility Uber. It's not just a crit Uber, which is a lot more dangerous when you're trying to defend this point, because Boulder and Fancy are trying to show us why now as they walk all the way in. Lardux bombing into Demoman down, no traps on that point, going to make it so much more difficult to hang on. A nice rocket there from Ryan over onto Lardux, but is it going to be enough? All the players now in the red are trying to get on this point, but they're not fast enough. MANDEM regurgitate their lead, they're back up 2-1, and off the back of that crits mid, which even caught the casters off guard.
Yeah, super clutch. They're taking a page out of the book of NOOBPANZER there, using their own strategies against them. Must really hurt through this one, and then they just played that last so perfectly. GG was just kind of caught out on that left-hand side alone. Everyone else in the spawn doors, they had a little bit of a fight, but it was always going to go the side of MANDEM, as they just had so much more health, so much more positioning here. And now really all MANDEM need to do for these last, 2.5 minutes is to play it safe.
Yeah, absolutely, but there's a mid-fight and then they're turning up to it. They're giving it all they've got, as now the bomb's coming in. Buck Ryan not waiting at all, straight in over onto this combo, but they're getting a bit distracted around. Oopie though getting caught behind from Puck perhaps. Oh, just about lives. How on earth is Oopie surviving? The rocket's coming too. Oh, it was so scary there for the blue medic, who is just about able to get out alive. But all the ground taken from NOOBPANZER in the meantime. Like yes, there's players living over a MANDEM in Valley, all on the low ground, but NOOBPANZER, despite being a soldier down, they have the high ground, they have all the space, and they capture the point and win the mid.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're even kind of stepping foot onto this mid, but they're continuing to fight on the side of MANDEM here. They traded 1-for-1. It is going to be a Uber trade coming out, initiated by that side of NOOBPANZER. However, it's kind of looking better for them as well. They're just stuck on that low ground of MANDEM. They call it quits. They hedge their bets. They are going straight back onto this second, but NOOBPANZER are going to want to storm right in here, right? They only have a minute and a half remaining on this map. Ubers are equal. It's going to be a drive-by, and this is where miracles can happen here. But see what they can do on the NOOBPANZER side as this play is just going absolutely crazy. People trying to get improved every doorway. No one going down early, but the first casualty of Pandemic could run an absolute ruckus here as he also takes down Piggles. GG going down as well here, and this should surely be a victory here for the side of MANDEM. Yeah, unless Yuji had something to say about it.
I saw the low HP soldier and I was like, maybe if Yuji got Lardux as well. But there is another low HP scout we need to think about, right? And that is Voxy, who I believe has been spotted. The game is up. He gets chased around on 5 HP, surely is not allowed to live here. Living for quite a while. Oh dear me. I actually thought But the thing is, we've seen Voxy win situations like that earlier on this game. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to believe at this point.
Yeah,
But
I
now
mean, if
40
someone
seconds
wins these,
later.
Boxy wins these, right? Surely. We do see Pickles up on the Kritzkrieg here, so they want to get something going early. They know maybe their only chance is to have a small bit of advantage here, and that's exactly what the Kritzkrieg provides him. They want to go in aggressive on the
Oh,
side
but
of
they get
MANDEM. They want to
destroyed.
catch them out. That's exactly what they do. They've just been taking cards out of the pack of NOOBPANZER and using them against them just as effectively, if not even better. His final scout trying to backcap. It's a taunt on the point by Blank, giving him the zombie dance.
Oh, and the forward spawn trap for the BM as well
Oh,
from Fancy.
it's
Oh, it's
awful.
disgusting. It's disgusting. It's great stuff from MANDEM. And honestly, I know we said before about like, the synergy maybe being perhaps hit with Blank coming in. That double bomb straight into Ali there from Lardox and Blank was perfect. They knew the timing exactly of when NOOBPANZER were coming around the corner into the alley, both high and both landed straight in the danger zone and did an absolutely monumental amount of damage. And the coordination was there with the rest of the team pushing in. And yeah, it had to be a bit of a Hail Mary at the end there with the crits up as well and stuff with 40 seconds left. But to clean it up so nicely puts a bow in this one for MANDEM, who do actually win the series 4 points to 2 because that first map was a golden cap. But what a turnaround! Honestly, I thought with 10 minutes left, the round comes back up for NOOBPANZER. I thought they were going to steam it, but MANDEM just a good little win in the dying moments.
Yeah, they just had a solid game, right? I think that last round was really, really good. I think they just kind of played that crits play perfectly and then played safe enough, not for anything else to really go wrong. And we are going to go to logs in a second. However, we do have a very special thing that has been produced by our lovely people at Essentials at MANDEM. Has made a lovely interview. If you do !AMS going live in 15 minutes is an exclusive interview with the man himself talking about his career up until now. So give it a watch, give it a view. It's an absolute banger of a video. And if you're a fan of a bit of TF2 history, you're definitely going to learn something from that video. So yeah, !AMS in chat. It hasn't been posted, but yeah, go give that premiere a watch going live in 15 minutes. Ben, look at these logs.
Right, I've got a fun question for you. Right, have you opened like the link for the logs yet?
No. I'm
Okay,
trying
right.
to. I
Don't
want to
do
take
it.
the guessing
Right,
game.
guess Hugie's KD on Sniper.
On Sniper.
On Sniper, just Sniper.
Did he die?
Well, how many kills do you think he got first?
I think he got 10. I think it was around 10.
Not far if he got 12.
12. Blimey. Yeah. Did he die? Or
No,
like once?
12 and 0. 12
That's
and 0
crazy.
on Sniper. In 9 minutes. That's yeah. that's absolute madness.
I mean, a lot of those were on to last, right? But even like I think 5 or 6 then must have been coming onto that second point and just kind of opening things up for NOOBPANZER. So they didn't always manage to kind of get something going from it. But he was just an absolute menace, just completely stopping any momentum MANDEM may have wanted to get.
Yeah, but in the end, it was great for those first few minutes when they're sort of hanging on, but later on, of course, it got sort of just how you can't run it obviously all the time. He was also set into second from it too. But yeah, on the balance of play, just MANDEM when it mattered, they pulled their act together. And yeah, like I say, I really thought things might have been falling apart for them when I saw the buff of 10-minute one round down. NOOBPANZER came out, but honestly, I was impressed with what MANDEM showed in that moment. When things look like they might just be spiraling, the experience just shone through and the quality shone through, and yeah, they hung on where in the previous matchup on Granary they didn't.
Yeah, unfortunately not there. We did have a little look at those damage stats, and there was a big difference I saw there. I mean, Fancy compared to GG was just night and day. I think I was watching a lot of Fancy during that, and he did pretty amazingly. We were onto these medics here. Only one drop coming out from Piggles there. I'm trying to remember when that was actually. Can you remember?
That was the one where was it Ryan bombed all the way around behind onto Opie and got a nice little air shot, popped up into the air. It was a really nice one. But
the other way around, it was Piggles that dropped.
Was that the one in Valley?
Yeah, it was also.
Yeah, that was
Valley,
one. Yes, it was. Yes, because was it Lardox bombed all the way around and popped up? Yeah, I remember it, but I don't remember what colour the medic was. I can see it happening in my head. You see, it's been a long night of TF2 with the golden cap.
Yeah, that Valley position was just dangerous throughout that game, right? That was a little bit scary.
I guess on that note, So I'm clearly losing it. So but we'll give everyone time. Go get some snacks. But stay at your computer or anywhere where you can perhaps watch a YouTube video, because the premiere is coming up for the all important AMS interview. For you can learn about loads of TF2 history. AMS has been top of the game for so long. Has shown they've got some amazing stories, and I know a lot of effort's gone in both from Juan and for the rest of the team at Essentials to get it up, get it edited, get it timestamped, all the such things. So do exclamation mark AMS in chat and be there. 10 minutes time, that's going to go live. So I expect everyone in here, I'll be checking if you're all there, be there for the premiere.
Yep, I think that's basically all from us for now. For anyone still watching, make sure to follow along to catch up on the rest of your 6v6 Autumn 2024 season. I think we've got 1 week left of regular season, and then we are into playoffs. And the playoffs should be an absolute banger here. If that game is anything to go by, I think we've got
that match
one
is
of the...
probably happening in playoffs, let's be real.
Yeah, I think we probably got, some of the best TF2 that we've seen in quite a few seasons coming up. Yeah, make sure to follow along. Any last words, Ben?
No, I'm going to say goodbye and see you all in 10 minutes for this premiere. So goodbye.